Hey guys, Seth here and welcome to Transport Fever. And Transport Fever 2, I should say. I keep saying Transport Fever, but this is really the second game. Anyway, I'm going to try and upload up the upload tempo a little bit to make sure that you guys have a new episode every day, at least until the game comes out on Wednesday. So, let's get to episode 6. Episode 6 I want to spend on upgrading the St. Paul town a little more by providing them with machinery. And machinery actually has everything that it requires. I have the iron ore, I have a coal mine, and that's going to transform both into steel. Then I'm going to take some logs, transport those to the sawmill, make some planks, put everything together, and I get machines. It's going to be a purely line built from a couple of standard parts. Oh, look at that, there's even a tools factory over here. I haven't even spotted that yet. It's just going to be trucks. I don't need any trains on this part, particularly because the routes are a little unpredictable. And as somebody said, I'm going to be upgrading some routes, because some of the routes are old. At least the roads can be a little old. Anyway, for starters, let's see about these roads. These are highways. Oh, sorry, that's the upgrade path. This is the upgrade tool. I don't need highways really, I need country roads. Speed of 100 kph. Unfortunately, the road's too close here to the logs, or to the, what is that, the forest? Yeah, the forest. So I'm going to have to redo that road just a bit. And come to think of it, I might just have to draw a direct line from here to there, because everything else is going to be using it. So just going to redo the roads. Nobody was using them anyway on this island, because there's nothing here. There's nowhere to go. This one can stay. This one I can redo. There. Alright, now the roads. Country roads, take me home. There you go. Now you got that stuck in your head. Country roads, take me to a truck stop. I bet you weren't expecting that much. Now, here comes the truck stop. Truck stop goes, or the road continues on to go very expensive. Let's not do that. Let's just do it in a couple of segments and have it follow the terrain, rather than dictate the terrain. Nope. Misclick. Here. Buildings. Truck stop. And if I put it down here, it does fit. And it does connect to the coal mine. So that's the coal stop. Here's the sawmill. The forest is down here. So I can just keep this road going more or less between these two. Not like that. And yeah, I also need to go over here. So just gonna go back a little. And connect it up. Good. Alright, truck stop. That goes there. I will need to find a decent spot over here, which also needs a connection to the town itself, to St. Paul, because I need to ship my finished products. So I'm going to first build the road. And the road is quite closely going to loop right by the steel mill, or by the factory, so that works. And just place it... Actually, I'm going to place it here, because I may have plans for an airport on this stretch of land. Now, before I forget to address it, somebody was asking, why don't you pay off your loan? Well, the loan really isn't costing me that much. The loan is currently costing me $435,000 a year, whereas if I invest a couple of millions into, for example, this line, then that is going to get me much, much more per year than $435,000. Or at least it's going to give me $435,000 probably a year, and potentially more. So I could repay the loan, or at least part of my loan. And by doing so, I would get potentially a couple thousand. Something like that. Let's say I would repay, of my 29 million, I would repay about 8. That's, let's say, a third, be generous. So that saves me 130,000, give or take, per year. Whereas if I spend this money, I'm going to be making a whole lot more than 130,000. That's why I'm not repaying my loan. Or at least not yet. I might do so in the future. But right now it is absolutely not a priority. Alright, let's set up some lines. Oh, I am Why does it consider it a bus tram station? Because it isn't, is it? Please tell me I've not been placing down tram stations. Because they're not. The game actually recognizes them as truck stops. Alright, we'll just ignore that. This first bit is the one that transforms logs into planks, and that is a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm going to have to abbreviate some stuff. This is logs to planks. So there will need to be quite a few vehicles on this line, otherwise I will not have enough supply. Similarly, if you want to be building steel, you need 4 of iron ore and, well, actually 2 of iron ore and 2 of coal, so 4 units in total to build 1. Now these two are quite close together. This needs to go from here to there. This needs to go from there to here. So I can have these trucks do a sort of loop, and that would probably work. So this one, edit, and then also to machines. So add one more station over there. Alright, so that's the logs. Let's get a vehicle for it. Somebody else was asking in the comments, why do you always use the same vehicle for everything? Because I think it's efficient. I think there are a couple of best vehicles for everything. You got these old things, the Opel Blitz. Then you got the Studebaker, you got the improved version, the Man 19. Oh, no, well, not improved version, but just a better vehicle, the Man 19. You got the Isuzu Elf, and then you got the Peterbilt. The Peterbilt carries far more of everything, 25 as opposed to 21, 14, 18. And yes, they might be more polluting, emission of 70. Although, actually, they're slightly better, in fact. And they just transport more. Fair enough, the Isuzu have a better lifespan. These have a lifespan of 24 years, 29, 29. 29 is long enough. Alright, let's start with 4 trucks. That is this line. Next up, starting over here, getting coal, and ending at the steel mill. That's another line. So this is St. Paul coal to steel. Then I need to find the iron ore, which is here. Look at how close that is. Truck station. I don't want them to get that much pushed into the terrain because that's expensive. This is going to be a very short hop. So I will need fewer trucks coming from here to there because their distance is about a third or even a fourth of what the coal has to do. So this is St. Paul. Iron to steel. And then we need another line starting here and going to there. And that is St. Paul steel to machines. And then one more starting here and going towards the town. And I need cargo. Cargo. What are we dropping off? Get rid of that. Here. I need a stop over here. Cargo drop off. And that is that one. So that is St. Paul machines. And I usually just write supply after it so I know that it's actually the end consumer. So this town currently has 610. It's not getting any benefit from supply. That's going to change. And that's going to change a lot. Alright, let's go with 2 Peterbilts on the iron ore. Iron steel. And I'll take double that on the coal supply. Because they take far, far longer. That would be St. Paul coal to steel. Do I have vehicles on every line? Road vehicles? No, I still need one to the end town. And one that takes the steel from here, ships it to there, and then turns around. So let's go with 2 for the actual town. Machine supply. And another... Oh, I'm out of cash. And another... Get out of my way. Another 2 So I need just one more for steel to machines. Now everything has a vehicle, correct? Yes. Alright, so that investment was a total of about 9 million, give or take a few. And that includes the new roads. The only section of road that I haven't upgraded yet is this part, where there's a random sheep, cow, pig, what is that? Oh, it's an Easter egg. Okay, there's a fox here apparently. And this one's called Oh What's That? No idea they actually had bears in the game. Oh well, you learn something new every playthrough. Alright, iron ore is definitely starting to come up, but some cargo items are lost because the station is overloaded. That is bullshit, because there is not that much iron ore on there. And it just keeps going. So your argument is null and void, and just start loading the iron ore, please. Over here, there is a whole ton of coal. And that's good, because I'm going to need a lot of it. These Peterbilts are going to be running around full. They can get to a speed of, I think, 80. Hello? Yes, 80. Top speed. And they will pretty much achieve that speed the entire way. We've got a whole bunch of logs over here, which are going to be transported over there and then to here. And give or take a few minutes to hours, depending on how long you want to watch it in-game. And I am going to be making money. In fact... oh, actually, no, just ignore these. The planks, logs, planks, machines is already making money. Albeit not that much. The coal to steel has just had its first drop off. I think it could get fairly busy here. Because this is... Yes. This line, actually, or this station has 3 lines coming to it. And that's one more than I have. So I'm going to add another cargo platform right there. And then I can set this terminal up so line... I don't really care which one. Goes to terminal 3. There. Now they each have their own one. In the meanwhile, the ships are making good money, and I'm already back at 4.1 million. Now I said that I want to potentially have an airport here, so I can fly out both machines and tools. Because I can do both. The beauty of this position is that this sawmill can improve production. It's currently level 1. The forest, however, cannot improve production, but this one, plus this one, is a lot of planks. And with that, I can then make machines, or tools, which I can then fly out to whoever needs it. Provided I can have an airport there somewhere. So considering what the biggest towns are currently, that's also Erie. Erie happens to need tools. I can provide that. Pretty easily, in fact. 1, 2, 3, airport. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Time for an airport. We are going to take to the skies. The big cargo airport. 15 million expensive. That's a bit more than I can currently afford. So if I'm a little patient, I can do it. Now, you could argue that I can just take these small cargo airfields, and yes, that would work, but the problem is that it's not really future-proof. Because at some point, I will be running out of planes, and if I want to be transporting a lot from here all the way over to the map to Erie, I can do that with small airplanes, but bigger airplanes just tend to be both faster, carry more, and just be more efficient overall. So that's my reasoning for going with the bigger airports as opposed to the smaller ones. Alright, let's do an overall inventory check to see if lines are profitable. These are all the bus lines or road lines. The only one that's not profitable is the Nashville bus and the St. Paul's machine supply, which I'm not surprised about because this one is just getting started. Not that one per se, but right now we do have a couple of machines. And yep, there's the first bit of machines being delivered to St. Paul. So we're actually getting started with this, and the town is continuing to grow. Alright, other lines. I don't have trams. I do have... Oh, sorry, these are trains. I do have trams, which are, with the exception of Thornton, all making me money. I don't have planes. I do have ships. And with the exception of the grain ship, which probably hasn't arrived yet, because these things generally do make money, it just takes them a little bit more time because they have to arrive first. Everything's making money. Erie to Stamford is even making a lot of money. Now, there were some concerns that, since I now have a direct line from Stockton to St. Paul, that I might run into trouble there, because there might not be enough demand. St. Paul Stockton, however, has 29 out of 40 seats occupied, and is making good money. There are only 2 people waiting to go to Stockton at this time, so that's not that bad. Over here, there are 15 people waiting to go to St. Paul, so that works. And over here, I have just a couple. Let's see, how many lines do I have here? Just the 2, so that's alright. Terminals, yes, that's alright. There's only 1 cargo ship, and over here, only... Oh, I got 1 terminal here, it's a small dock. Okay, let's fix that. A passenger dock. Now I'm going to temporarily delete the dock that's currently here. I always do this in pause mode, otherwise the game is going to be protesting that, hey, where's my end station? So delete the dock. People are going to have to wait for a bit. And then I can build 2 docks. Or actually 2... yeah, there are 2 small docks with 4 landings. I'm going to only install 2 because I don't need that many. But at least it gives me further potential to grow. And this one can go to Terminal 2. So there, that station is now fixed. I think the other docks are actually doing pretty well. I don't think I need a whole lot of maintenance. Oh yeah, we got a couple new planes. The BR Aerospace 146. This is the tanker or the cargo version, and this is probably the standard version. How are we doing over here? New York City Erie has 40 people waiting. We're still using these old ships here. The station is overloaded. What do you want? Yeah, I'm gonna replace these ships. We're gonna just make some adjustments to this line. This line. The line currently also picks up the fuel, but I don't want that. That is stop 2. And over in Erie, that is the cargo stop, so that's stop 2 here. Alright, so now this ship only picks up people. Or rather, they both do. Where's ship 7? Ship 7's only transporting fuel. Well, this one's going to get replaced anyway. Because there won't be any fuel if I hit play. It doesn't have anywhere to go. And this one I'm going to wait for it to dock and then replace both with hovercraft. Okay. So these 2, replace. And get a couple of hovercraft in there. Currently 0 people on board. I'm not surprised because I was tampering with these lines. Oh, did I not do something correctly? That's the exchange. Just redo it. I need to go to the cargo dock, or to the passenger dock. And to here. That's all. Yep, no more warnings. Good. Okay, so that's one. This one has enough terminals. No, it does not. It only has 2 terminals. So, configure. Add another small dock, and I can just add that right here. And plot another landing. Oh, now it throws down the dock. Yeah, that's a little late. Oh well, so be it. Terminals. Oh, shit, I built a cargo dock. Wrong type of dock. Needs to be a passenger dock. Get rid of that. There you go. Although this is a passenger dock. What is the game talking about? And I do have 2 landings. It's like I selected the wrong dock. Yeah, stealth, that's because you did. You're looking at the cargo dock. I'm sorry guys, this is the passenger building, this is the cargo dock. So, what I need to do is remove that. Set up the passenger docks. Set up the passenger landings. And now we're all set. Now I can switch these to terminal... Stanford is south. This is going to get terminal 2. Where's that Stanford? Oh, sorry, that's Stanford. So Stanford needs to be on this pier and the other one needs to be on that pier. So terminals, Aries Stanford needs to be on terminal 1 and you need to be on terminal 2. There. This might cost me some money because I replaced some of the lines and that means that there's a potential for some people to get confused about it. So be it. I will need to add another line. The cargo line. Picking up fuel here. And dropping off fuel there. This is the New York, let's just abbreviate it to NYC. NYC Erie Fuel. Ooh, there's a lot of people waiting there to go to Stanford again. I wonder when they're going to pick up the New York line though. Oh, sorry, that's Erie. Yeah, Erie apparently was full though. Alright, I need a cargo vehicle. Something that picks up a lot of fuel. The Votrans tanker towboat comes to mind. Alternatively, it would be one of these, but they only carry 135, and these are slightly more expensive at 1.7 and carry 200. That's what I want. Gonna be a pretty slow line, but at least Erie will be getting fuel again. Anyway. If I want to be providing Erie with tools, I will need to do some redecorating over here, which means I need to place down an airport. And that does not fit. Fortunately, there's a lot of water. It's time to do some landscaping. I'm going to build an offshore airport, which is going to be a little weird. But it's simply because I want Erie to grow over here. I have cash. Not... well, potentially not enough to actually build the whole thing. We'll just see how it goes. Brush size bigger. Let's up the strength a little. That's the start. Smooth terrain? No, that's not it. Just raise. See, landscaping is an expensive hobby, and not just when you're doing it in your own garden. If you're trying to artificially create an island, that gets progressively worse. This is going to take some time, isn't it? I better let the game run on high speed to make sure that I won't be here forever. Yeah, see, this is a really expensive hobby, building an airport or building an artificial island. Although I could have known that, because being Dutch, I know that we are quite good at creating artificial islands and living far, far below water level. And it is expensive to keep all that infrastructure going. Now, this seems like a perfect place to build an airport, no? No, not really. It's going to need a lot of smoothing. Because I need to turn this into one island. Go on. Do I I need to... Oh. Oh, okay. I just wasted 11... No, make that 19 million on that. Yeah. Building artificial islands. Really expensive, Hobbit. Really expensive. In the meanwhile, I might need to invest in some more infrastructure first. Another line from New York City to Erie. Because this one's full. I wouldn't be surprised if the other way is also quite full. Actually, it's not that full. And sure enough, a hovercraft did just depart. How's New York for picking up passengers? Not great. Whoa. Lots of people waiting to go to Upper New York City. And they're not getting there. Yeah, that looks positively crowded. Huh? Where do you want to go? All the way to Stamford? That's a hell of a trip, lady. Okay. Apparently I need either more trams or just bigger ones. And probably both. Yeah, I have 2 trams currently. Let's throw at least one more on. New York City tram. In the meanwhile, looks like the first trip from the New York City Erie fuel. There is a bit of fuel, but still not that much. That has to do, I think, with not enough oil being there. And that could be courtesy of not enough fuel being, or crude, being transported. And these are still fairly old vehicles. 21 years old. Can carry 16. Well, I can replace that whole line with Peterbilts, because they just carry a hell of a lot more, and they're faster. I think I'm going to have to revisit building that airport just a little later, because right now I cannot do it. It's just too much to ask. I mean, sure enough, I've made a start, but an airport is going to need a lot more space. Could I do it instead over here? No, it's still going to need more space. Although I could potentially use it as a starter area. And then set up the airport more or less over there. New York City Erie. Holy shit. I think that's because I added an extra tram. Now the area over here is far easier to get to. And I'm starting to notice. Add another one to the New York City tram. And we're going to add at least 2 more hovercraft here. Ah, we got a Graf Zeppelin available. Graf Zeppelin is a new vessel, a new ship. Passenger ship, in fact. Can transport 150. It does need a large dock. I don't really find them too interesting. Because the hovercraft are just still faster and overall more efficient. And also easier to add or remove from a line. As opposed to getting one whole ship, you just get either 1 or 2 hovercraft, or 10, depending on the need. And for the moment this seems to be enough. Still find it a little weird that they clip through the piers. But we just have to take that for granted, I suppose. Now, let's see how many people start queuing up here. With the additional trams. There's 77 people still there. 24 waiting. And overall, the New York City Erie line is on 1.1 million. However, that's with a couple of empty hovercraft. Now, all of these trucks should be transporting... Yep, transporting more. There are 25 each. That means that this one's going to be getting more. This one, the oil refinery. Meaning that the fuel refinery is going to get more. And that the ship supply should be getting more. And overall, I will be getting more. A lot more. There's another full ship zooming back to Erie. 95 people. I already have a big ship there. Or, well, no, not big ships, but just a lot of them. The hovercraft do seem to get caught over here. On this little snag. Let's see what it does. Slow. It does 93. And then it jumps all the way back to 40, 30, 32. It's because it's Well, probably half because it's making the turn, but also because it's in this narrow. Or shallow. We're in the shallows now. And now you're not. This looks absolutely nuts. Can we just smooth it? There, that should speed the hovercrafts up just a little. Let's see what this one does. Yep, this one still snags. Is it because they're making a turn? No, it's not. What about you? Now this one actually starts speeding up there. I think it's because they're making a turn. That's probably what's causing the slowdown. People waiting here, 40. That's still enough to fill 2 hovercraft. I'll add another one. New York, or Erie, New York City, here. People waiting here, 77, still. Alright, I'm gonna set up a potentially temporary tram line from here to there, doing nothing, but just transporting these people from South Street. Because I think there just might be a whole lot of them. NYC fast tram. Just not with a capital R. Fast tram, there. Alright. One more tram. I hope that these people are bright enough to realize that they can also take this tram at some point. And that might relieve some pressure on the other trams, which at this point, as they're coming through here, are already full. Because people from here are probably also waiting to get to the harbor. 58 waiting. Still not a whole lot. There's about 40 waiting there, but we're not shipping it fast enough. I want to duplicate that. Just add another car. Yep, there's another warning. Some cargo items are lost because the station's overloaded. I'm just not emptying this station fast enough, and you can see it. This is the supply for New York City. This is the supply for Erie. It is just going to take more time. Or more vehicles. Terminals are fine. Supply over here is quite good for the fuel. This is the crude line. Let's also up that. All of these replace Peterbilts. Money is once again flowing in fast. Already back at 9 million. He's taking a little bit of fuel and taking it to town. Which is, oh, that's about at capacity. 61 out of 94. 25 being transported. There's only 2 here waiting currently. How much do we have over here? 5. Aha! We found our bottleneck. The oil well is at capacity. I'm shipping as much as this thing can provide. And I'm trying to resupply 2 towns with it. And now I'm running into trouble. Because it cannot resupply that much. So that's currently what's going on. Alright, what about the speed tram? Yeah, some people are taking the fast tram. Which one are you? It's all your New York City trams. Here's the fast tram. I don't expect this thing to be making a lot of money, but it's more as a supplier for the harbor, so that the little boats are going to be making more money. Alright, one last look at the tool line before I call the episode to a close. Or machines, I should say. Look at that. Providing 120. And with that, I'm providing half the demand. So I could just about double these lines. What is currently the bottleneck? Over here, we have a lot of logs, but no steel. In the steel mill, we have quite a lot of iron ore, but not enough coal. So I will at least need a couple of coal vehicles. St. Paul, coal to steel. And over here, there does seem to be plenty. I'm only shipping 63% of the capacity that this thing has. So yeah, there is still room for improvement. 121 stored, 120 consuming. This thing cannot produce any more if there's no more steel. This one seems fine. There's plenty of logs, there's plenty of planks as well. It's just the coal that's the bottleneck. But, the main question, what are these things making me? 1 million from coal to steel. 800,000 for logs to planks to machine parts. Then we got machine supply heading to town, 333,000. Iron to steel, that is this little hop. Even that is making me 275,000. And then we got the steel to machines, that's from here to there, which is mostly running empty because there's not enough steel being produced. Currently still at 224. So overall this line is, let's say, 1.1, 1.8, and it does keep going back and forth. 2, let's say 2.1, 2.3 or 2.4, 2.5 million. So, for those of you who were saying you need to pay off your loan because you have 8 or 9 million, I spent 8 or 9 million and I am making 2 million with it a year. Whereas if I had paid off my loan, or at least part of it, I would have saved 135,000, give or take. This is why I don't pay much attention to the loan interest. Because if you're looking at my chart, let's set the timetable to the last 5 years. When was the first trip for this vehicle? 1977. Here. This is 1977. Income 16 million. 16.1. 18.7, 20.9, 27.7, or 21.7. And fair enough, over here I think I started adding more hovercraft. But still, that's a pretty good jump. Just by adding this one section of production chain. That's why I'm not interested in paying off my loan. And I'm still not interested because I want to save more money and deploy my airport and then start shipping parts by air. But I'll do that in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you soon for more episodes.